Hello, today for our daily pause, I'd like to focus our attention on the concept of exile. I know we've heard about that from the Hebrew people and their history many times. And in some ways, we are experiencing a sort of exile ourselves as we quarantine ourselves in our homes. Not at all the same as the Hebrew people, who were uprooted from their homes and sent away to Babylon. But we are reminded of a letter from Jeremiah to assure the people. Often the part of the letter that gets quoted often, and I've heard it this past week, is from Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. We've heard it before. It goes like this: "For surely I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans for your welfare and not for your harm, to give you a future with hope." And we read those words and we feel very uplifted and positive about them. But we forget that the context of that letter is in verse 4, when Jeremiah writes to the people. This is what he says: "Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, to all the exiles whom I have sent into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon, build houses and live in them. Plant gardens and eat what they produce. Take wives and have sons and daughters, may bear sons and daughters. Multiply there and do not decrease, but seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare." You see, the true meaning of this text is that the Hebrew people wouldn't escape trials and tribulations, but they were instructed by God to thrive there in those trials and in those temptations, in those moments when they were no longer at home. At least in our exile in this time of quarantine, we have our homes to go to, but we are limited and we are feeling a bit of an exile ourselves. So we are to remember to listen to that verse 11, knowing that God has a future with hope in it. But that doesn't mean we escape any difficulty right now. It means it is a time that we learn to thrive and persevere, for we know that God is in our future. I hope you've enjoyed this daily pause moment, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. God bless you.